Alright, let's keep this hand. I like the fact that we have Killane and Obnixilis. Getting 2 Obnixilises could be decent. We just need to get the 3rd land just to 100% ensure we can do that. Although the Killane does give us a treasure, so that might be enough. Cold Steel Heart. So they're going to get the Nickel bonus in the following turn. Which actually does... Yeah, that does slow us down a bit here. Because if we do go for the 2 Obnixilises, they're not going to be able to deal with... Wow, they missed a land drop. That's pretty huge, to be honest. So they probably scryed one to the top. Red, black. That's nice, gives us a bit of time. So we're going to get 2 of these. Sacrifice the Killane. Now we do miss a land drop ourselves, which is not great. And apparently that's enough. If they had known we had no land in our hand extra, then that might have ended up very differently though. Today we got Goblin Warlock Zoyowa Lava Tongue. 2 mana, 2/2 Death Touch. Beginning of your end step, if you descend this turn, each opponent may discard a card or sack a permanent. Zoyowa deals 3 damage to each opponent who didn't. A bit wordy, but basically when you get rid of stuff, discard something, you can punish them in one way or another. It's actually a pretty cool trigger. This is one of those decks, though, where a lot of the deck power actually comes from the cards on the 99. I think as a commander, he's okay. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways to trigger it, especially treasures. That's why the deck has so many ways to make treasures. So let's see how awesome this deck is. I mean, you know how good I am at making Black X decks anyway. But stay tuned and find out if we can get this trigger off a few times and crush our opponent with it. Firstly, this is a really beautiful gamer tag. Sky and Sand. I really like it. It just kind of sounds poetic. And it matches Naset quite well as well in a strange, poetic way. I don't really know why I like it. It just sounds nice. Sky and Sand. It's nice. But yeah, Naset is a very powerful foe. But our hand is absolutely stacked with goodies. Counter. Let's get rid of Arcane Signet, I think. So we have, weirdly enough, 3 kill spells in our hand that can actually deal with Naset. Will they be able to get any of these things off? Really, really good cards in the hand. They can just kill Zoyowa here. Okay, that was expected, to be honest. But at least we slow them down by 1 turn by ridding them of the Signet. And yeah, for now, we're just going to bide our time. Annoyingly, the Charm can... Wow, they're going to go for the Iteration. Iteration on turn 2 or 3, I never find that great. I mean, don't get me wrong, this card is an absolute powerhouse. It's banned in Modern, I think, or Legacy, one of those formats. But yeah, I like to do it a bit later when you can actually utilize 2 of the cards from this. Oh, mouse feels so weird. When you come home from work and you've been using your work mouse and work keyboard, suddenly you're using your personal equipment and it feels weird. Especially when I was playing mobile version of this game. Black Market Connections. Is that going to get counted? Maybe. We can pay for it with the Ease It Charm though, because it only makes us pay extra 2. Okay, so that actually resolved. So if they ever resolve Naset, I'm not that worried. But given how Time Warp, see, we've made the deck ourselves. We know what goes into a Naset build. It's very powerful cards. They Time Warp in order to play an extra land, so now they can go for Naset, but they're not going to be so happy when they realise we have multiple ways to deal with her. Now, if they have Patch of Negation, that's going to suck. Really is going to suck. Let's go for the Shieldred here. Nice. Wow, just killing it once. That's a shame. That is a shame, but my deck building is pretty good, isn't it? This is a good hand. Nice. Okay, so do we want to go Strike It Rich here? Probably. So I've got 2 mana in the following turn. Sorry, 3 mana. But nothing explosive, like Beseech the Mirror. Is that any good? Budded Strand. It's always off-putting to see fetch lands off color, but yeah. The reason you can play white-blue... Sorry, I mean, it's not actually a white-blue spell, so having this border is a bit disingenuous. The lands in Arena, they show you the color that the lands can create. But this is actually still a colorless card because it doesn't actually have the colored symbols on it. 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, we'll go for Prosper. Prosper on turn 2 is legit. And yeah, now we can just start ramping, playing extra spells. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And, you know, creating treasures. Synergizes well with the Beseech the Mirror. Synergizes well with the Zoyowa Lava Tongue, which is such a mouthful. Rather ironic given the size of his mouth. Lotus Cobra. Okay. I really want to get rid of this Cobra, but there's nothing we can really do yet. I guess we'll go for Strike It Rich. And then next turn we can think about Beseech the Mirror and then sacrificing one of the treasures. So basically for 5 mana we get to play something. Ooh, Crucius. So many treasure makers. I love it. Absolutely love treasures. 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, fetch lands and Lotus Cobra is definitely not what we want to see. But if things get out of hand, we do have the Rankle's Prank. Oracle of Moldiah. Oh dear. Cyclonic Rift. Okay. So the Cyclonic Rift makes me want to use the treasures. Oh, that's such a brutally good card. That is so brutally good. What if we Beseech the Mirror with Bargain? Let's find an answer. If there is one. Maybe we just give Liliana... Oh no, he doesn't. We're not going to play it though, are we? Maybe we attack the hand? What do we do? This is tricky, isn't it? 2-1 and a 2-2. Suppose we go for Chandra. That looks really weird. Cast something from exile, we get a treasure. Nice. Deal 4 damage to any target. I think we kill the Oracle. Timeless Witness on top is irritating because it means they can get anything back from the graveyard. I think we go for the Ragavan. Because that can make us more treasures. Can they get 7 mana next turn? I really hope not. 4, 5, 6. I mean, maybe, but I don't think just from natural land drop. So they play 1 land. If it's a fetch, like a Fabled Passage. Okay, Tyler's Provisioner. Yikes. Ooh, so much ramp. But they're doing all this before the Tatiova. So, yeah, I don't know. If they play 1 more card... so now the Rift is at risk in their hand. We can make them discard it with the Rankle's Prank. And then suddenly, they're not looking so great, are they? How much we got? 1, 2, 6. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can kill... What do we want to kill? Kill that. And then let's add some red.
This'll be easy.
I would love to sack 2 creatures each, but each play discards 2, loses 4. That's fine. Although annoyingly now, because they've got the Oracle back, I don't know, they might choose to discard it again, but yeah, that is annoying, having 3 cards. What am I going to do? That was the best thing I could have done, isn't it, really? So they now have to choose which one thing they want to keep. I'm starting to think, oh, they wanted to keep the Rift. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Treasure. And do we just go for Zoyowa, given that they could just rift? Probably. And then we can swing in as well. I don't mind trading with either of these because it means a bit less pressure against Chandra, but oh well. So only having the rift means they need to top deck a land with the Cobra out in order to play it. So yeah, this is an interesting trait. Okay, so Timeless Witness. Sure. Getting some triggers here. Inquisition. That would have been good a bit earlier on, but yeah, also, if they do go for the rift here, it means they only have a Cobra out, and then we can redeploy Chandra to kill the Cobra, so it's not the end of the world. Especially on a field just that light. Okay, very nice. So now we can just rift away the... Sorry, Inquisition away the rift. Which is interesting. So now they're in a bad position. Well, I can't believe we got rid of that, to be honest. Let's go for the land first, and then we'll uptick the Chandra. It's just a land. That's a shame. And then I think we swing in. We want to apply some pressure. This is a 4-4, which is pretty decent. And this is why Pajuka Bug's so good. If we top deck Pajuka Bug to exile their graveyard, that'd be wonderful. And get a Professor Onyx. Okay. So they can draw 2, gain 2 here with a Rolling Regrowth, which is annoying. And they also get 2 mana floating in addition, so they've got 4 mana. Jeez, that's so crazy how you turn an uncommon into a rare by having these 2 out. Bonkers. Oh no. Scoot Swarm with a Fabled Passage. What the hell? As if they just top deck that with a Fabled Passage. Yeah, we are in a lot of trouble, guys. We are in a lot of trouble. They just drew... They're basically going to turn the entire game around now. Oh dear. So we need a Languish. We need a Languish so bad. And an Allosaurus Shepherd. Holy moly. I actually think we're going to lose to that, which I think Scoot Swarm is definitely a mistake. Definitely. Given that we win the advantage. Foretell. So that's going to be the extra turn spell or the counter. Greatest power. So they'll lose the Tatiova. Mind Stone. Do we care about that? Suppose. We can cast it.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah. Get rid of the Tatiova. It's not really going to make a difference, to be honest. Hold back. Some blockers. Also hard. Any kind of board wipe would be good right about now. They also probably win from Crater Hoof as well. It's ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, an extra turn. That's not good. Because now they can also kill the Professor Onyx from that play. Yeah, that's magic for you, I guess. Replay Tatiova and a land. More Scoot Swarms. Drawing more things. Why does that look different to the other ones? Weird. Kami. Please don't play any more lands. It's going to be another land, isn't it? Yep, another land. Okay. I've got to say, this is probably one of my most common ways to die, which is a shame, given there's 20,000 cards in the game, but... Come on now. They just keep top decking more and more lands. Why do they have to have the birds as well? Damn it. They're going to attack with the Chandra as well. I mean, they have enough attackers, really. No, they're not going to do that. Interesting. They're going to go for the Chandra so we can't minus. Intriguing. Wow. They have a lot of assets from one card. All of these attackers. Goodness me, that's very aggressive. But there you go. We'll try and block that one. Yeah, so we lose both the walkers here. That really sucks. Oh no, we didn't lose both the walkers. Oh yeah, of course, because they only attacked enough to wound the Chandra, sorry. Okay.
Yep. You're going down.
Wow. Arcane Signet, amazing.
This'll be easy.
Anything? Can we get anything? More rubbish. I don't know why we just keep top decking these things. So I'm going to sack a treasure to trigger the Zoyowa for the end step trigger. And pass to them. But yeah, we're in a bad spot here. Roxa. So they probably just have lethal now, don't they? How many of these? There's... I can't tell what that number is. That 13's above the Scoots forms, isn't it? Or is it above the... It's not above the Lotus Cobra. Why is the number offset that way? How weird. It looks like the frame for the artwork extends to this spacing here. I always find that weird in design. You should probably put that number maybe on the actual card rather than just in the top left negative space. Oh my, and in a Shire. So now everything's a land. So every creature comes in, we'll draw them a cut. Yeah, I'm just going to call it here, guys. That is complete and utter devastation there. I'm not going to sit through 100 million Scoots or Twiggers. Alright, we're facing big ol' Nivy. This is a really nice hand. Got some ramp. Card disadvantage removal ×2, which aren't spells, which makes it even better. Because it means he won't get a trigger. Bit of a funny thing to say, but because I was playing Arena on mobile recently, you don't really get to appreciate how good the artwork really is. When you look on the PC version, this is just spectacular. Like, look at this uncommon Planeswalker art. Tails End on an uncommon. You know what? I'll happily pay 2 to get rid of a rare. That's fine. If they tap out next turn... Are they going to tap out, though? This is the thing. Or they're just going to draw 2 cards. Okay. Interesting. I really want to get Crucius out because I want to ramp. And I want to get rid of probably the braids here. And we'll go for lesser, hoping to get a Thoughtseize or something like that. Just something to look in their hand. And also playing the Davriel a bit later is probably better because chances are that people bank their best cards later on. So when it comes, I shouldn't be telling people how to play discard better, to be honest, but yeah, discarding early isn't very good, especially when it's random. If it's controlled, then it's the other way around on the spectrum, right? When someone has 1 or 2 cards left in your hand, that's when you deploy stuff to hurt their hand. 2 mana up. Let's just go for Zoyowa. Because again, if this gets countered, I really don't care. I love it. It's fine. So I think we'll get rid of the Extinction Event here. Let's start getting the bigger spells. We've got 6 mana. Oh my goodness. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sack, sack. We've got 5 cards in our hand that make him sack, including 2 of the most beautiful women in the game and And Liliana, of course. Okay, 5 mana open. So they're one off Niv Mizzet, but... Okay, so they're going to counter everything we play. That's a given, isn't it? 3, 4, 5... Do I want to give a Rankle? Do I want to give a Rankle? Okay, let's try. Let's just get another counter spell out of the hand, I guess. So far, it's been counter, draw, counter. Okay. Let's tickle their hand. Boom, boom. Oh, do I want to make people discard? I guess so. So now we're at a weird juncture where getting rid of the Davriel's okay, because Rankle does it in a very similar vein. And do I want to discard? Well, they're going to respond to the trigger. They're going to commit him. No, okay, fine. Interesting. Interesting. So because of the way priority works, I don't think they have a 0 mana counter spell. They're going to go for River's Rebuke. Oh my goodness. That is pretty disgusting, but... okay, we'll go for Liliana then. Fine by me.
If I were you,
Establish the threat,
surrender right.
which makes a creature.
Rise and
Wonderful.
shine.
That was a pretty early rebuke, I have to say. I don't think I agree with the timing on that. But there you go. What was the alternative? They just... Memory would have been... They don't realise this, but if they memoried, they would have got rid of the best cards in our entire deck. Because they all deal with Niv and don't give them a card, which is exactly how we want to do that. Whoa, they got rid of the Expansion Explosion. That's a game-ending card there. It's got Niv Mizzet on the actual artwork itself. Well, I should be happy they've used the River's Rebuke. That is one of the strongest cards in the entire game. Let's use Liliana before they do anything to her in response.
This looks like a fun new toy.
Try Rankle. I want to hit that hand even more. To be honest. Saw it coming. Okay. Well, here's the good thing, that if they use the memory, we're going to get the 7 cards before them to use with all our mana. Because it's going to take them 6. Gilded Lotus. They're going to set up for a big turn. 3, 4, 5, Midnight Clock. So they're really banking on this memory. If you ever wait to exile the graveyard, they're just screwed. But Liliana's also one-off ultimate. Bitter Triumph. Okay, let's see if they've got any more counters then. They've got 3 mana up here. Wow.
Liliana Vest?
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Haven't heard that name before.
Liliana Tribal, guys, apparently.
Let's go digging.
So worst case scenario is now, I guess, Cyclonic Rift or Mass Manipulation. If they get Mass Manipulation, we're dead. Really, I think. Gonna go for Niv. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they've got enough mana to do 7 damage to anything they want here with the memory. So they'll actually draw 8. And then deal 8. Damn, that's a lot. It's not enough to kill the big Lily, but it's enough to take her off.
Not today.
So yeah, that does suck a bit, but we've just drawn 3 answers to Niv. They're down to 11 as well. If they don't kill the zombies, they're just going to die to the zombies as well. So, oh wow, and we also have the Angos Rampage that we can kill one of either the Lotus or the Clock, and they're not going to be happy with either, to be honest. All these triggers, man.
You are such a disruption. Back off.
Interesting. So they did a bit of division on each. So if we start with Eldest Reborn, they're not going to enjoy that. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, that feels so good to take out a div player. Oh, that's good. This video goes out to Jonaroth, and thank you for supporting the channel. He chose Zoyowa Lava Tongue for this video, which is interesting. I was pretty excited to make this video. But then after I must have had about 30 games with this guy, because I was actually having fun. But then I started to question whether it was Zoyowa Lava Tongue that I was having fun with, or the actual deck. And the answer, sadly, is it's the deck doing all the legwork. The deck is essentially a really powerful Rakdos shell. As you saw, we did lose the game versus the Scootstorm just because we didn't get one of our mass removal spells like Languish or Extinction Event. But yeah, I think apart from that horrific loss, which I think happens to anyone, Scootstorm can just win games by itself. It's still decent, and I do think it's worth crafting. However, I'd say the commander is something that I would change. It's probably the most non-ability I've ever seen on a commander. It doesn't actually do anything, like, ever. And partly because it's a Punisher effect. So a Punisher effect is a card that makes an opponent choose between two or more options. Now, in order to trigger that, obviously, you have to lose a permanent or discard one or mill one. And then they get to choose to discard or sack. And if they don't, 3 damage to them. I never, ever felt like this impacted the game in any way. I think perhaps if you made this a super aggressive low to the ground deck with 1, 2, 3 drops, then I think you'd start to see it more. But the way I've built it, which is a bit more mid-range to control-y, yeah, it just doesn't impact the game. Also, 25 life, maybe that's another reason it just doesn't feel that impactful. Maybe in the 60 card, having 20 life feels a bit better because that's 1/7 rather than, whatever it is in this format. So it's just a weird card. It looks fun, but it never does what you want it to do. The times you want them to lose life, they'll discard or sack, and the times you want them to sack or discard, they'll lose life. And that's why Punisher effects are just historically just awful, absolutely god awful. The reason why Invoke Despair is so good is because it hits thrice. 3 times is a lot, and also if they don't do what you want, you draw a card. So that's incredible. This is the opposite end of the spectrum. But yeah, sadly, John Roth, I don't think this guy is very good. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try it. I think you should try it. Maybe there's another shell that I think maybe he could fit in better. But even though the fact we have loads of treasures in this deck, it just didn't really work out, sadly. But it doesn't mean the deck was bad. It's just uninspiring. The commander doesn't impact the deck. How do I rate something like that? It's pretty tough. That's something that I've always struggled with my ratings at the beginning of the video, like the star rating, the number rating that people can disagree or agree with. It is hard to define. It's very nebulous. There's no right answer. It's sometimes down to feel as well. So the power level on the deck is high, but power level of the commander is low. I guess then it averages out. It's the average, isn't it? So that's something you have to take into account. It's not always face value when you see like a 1 or a 3. It also depends a lot on matchups. But yeah, I think the 99 is good, the commander bad. That's the gist of it. If you want to make this deck yourself, make sure you can make treasures. That's the mainstay. I did toy around with having some mill effects, which does trigger the ability for Descend as well. But again, it only counts permanents as well. So if you discard an instant or sorcery, it doesn't trigger. So, it's just not very good. But I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. It was fun nonetheless. If you do want to give it a go, toy around with the deck list, it's in the description below. And if you want to support the channel because you've been around a while and you just feel like you're getting some value from my content, if I've given you any happiness or joy, maybe you could consider donating to the channel via my Ko-fi link in the description below, or become a channel patron. And if you become an adult dragon member, you get a video of your choice. Did you know that you can help my channel by watching another one of my videos? Go ahead, you know you want to.